More men have come forward to claim harassment against Kevin Spacey. And can you guess which R&B star Kim Kardashian is dressed up as? That's all on Splash, the paparazzi's own TV show. Like we expected, another actor has stepped forward to claim Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted him, this time at the bar of London's Old Vic Theatre. The actor is Robert Cavazos, and he says Kevin tried to fondle him during a couple encounters at the Pitt bar, located underneath the iconic venue, but he refused the advances. He even went on to say that they all have a Kevin Spacey story, and it was so common that it even became a local joke. Back then, Spacey would invite young actors to talk about their careers, and when they arrived, he would have a beautiful picnic ready on the stage. And although each story varied, the technique was always the same. Kevin was the artistic director of the theater between 2004 and 2015. But it doesn't stop there. A documentary filmmaker has revealed that Kevin put his hand on his crotch and forcibly grabbed his whole package at an LA bar in 2003. Not to mention, there's an unidentified man speaking under the alias of John who claims he woke to find Kevin affectionately lying on top of him, dressed only in his underwear during an incident in New York in the 80s. And at the time, John was only 16. Like we said earlier, we anticipate more stories to follow. Harvey Weinstein has been thanked the same amount of times as God at the Academy Awards, so it's no wonder he might have a messiah complex. Page 6 is exclusively reporting that the disgraced producer has been telling friends he believes he's a savior who was born to be accused of sex assault in order to change the world. That's right. Harvey is reportedly of the mind that he's a martyr for social change, and that's why he's resigned to his punishment, whatever that might be. But a rep for Weinstein says that's absurd. 82 women claim to have been sexually assaulted, raped, or molested by the media mogul, and that list dates back to the 70s. Harvey is currently believed to be in an Arizona rehab, and his rep says that any allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. Olivia Munn is just one of the 5 women now accusing Brett Ratner of sexual misconduct or harassment. And to be honest, it's starting to get hard to keep up with all the claims. Munn says that while visiting the set of Ratner's 2004 film, After the Sunset, he walked into the room with his belly sticking out, no pants on, and pleasured himself in front of her. Olivia says she let out a startled scream and raced out of the trailer. Actress and model Natasha Henstridge claims that when she was 19, she was forced to perform oral sex on Ratner in his New York City apartment after he blocked a doorway when she tried to leave. Henstridge says he strong-armed her in a real way, physically forced himself on her, and at some point she gave in, and he did his thing. Through his attorney, Ratner has categorically denied the allegations.
Justin, how is it staying at Selena's tonight? Everybody wants to know if you guys are back together.
That's the first sighting of Justin Bieber since it was revealed Selena Gomez and The Weeknd have split up. We shot this exclusive video of the pop star while he was out hiking in Los Angeles, and even though we had to ask him if he was now back with the now single Selena, he stayed mum. Can you blame him? We took exclusive shots of him leaving her house after spending the night there, and everyone was curious just what that meant. But considering that and the news of Selena's breakup, you have to admit the timing is really coincidental. Selena and The Weeknd dated for 10 months, and back in September, their relationship seemed as strong as ever. Guess looks can be deceiving.
Newsflash, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton are focusing on having a baby. That's right, the couple has been winning over Gwen's entire extended family, and her kids adore him. And come Christmas 2018, they're hoping to add one more to the list. A source close to the stars reportedly told Us Weekly that 2 years into their surprising romance, they're trying for a baby. The source added that Gwen and Blake will get married one day, but right now they're hyper-focused on getting pregnant. Gwen is already 48, but she did learn she was expecting Apollo at the age of 43, and they believe there's still another chance. Blake has wanted to become a dad for a long time, and it was one of his upfront plans when he first got with Gwen, and she was willing to try. Rumor has it they've been trying for a baby since last year, and despite the struggle they're facing, it only makes them stronger. We'll keep our fingers crossed too. If you've been wondering where Megan Fox has been, well, she's been on set filming her new movie Shadow Girl in Brooklyn, New York. So that's why you haven't seen her in a while. Aside from being the mother of 3, the actress is hard at work on her next movie, centered on the world of mixed martial arts. There are a lot of questions surrounding the production, and we don't quite know her part just yet. But it will be her first movie role since the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films. So hopefully, this is a sign of things to come. While we were on set, we also shot exclusive footage of her doing a scene with Olivia Thirlby, and it looks like Olivia is upset about something. Wonder if these two are gonna duke it out. Hair today, gone tomorrow. And now we're left to wonder, what was he thinking? Alexander Skarsgård showed up at a Louis Vuitton event in New York City with the worst haircut we've ever seen. And we're just hoping it's for some new role we don't know about. As you can see, the 41-year-old now looks like your creepy uncle, having shaved off the top of his dome while leaving the sides fully intact. It's no wonder we saw him that morning with a beanie on his head. Of course, at the time, we had no idea he was hiding such a surprise under his hat. In the past, Alex has spoken about putting his craft above his appearance, saying that it's important that he lets himself be true to the characters he plays, because if he's worried about how his fans will react to him being a little chubby, pale, or looking a little older, then he's not doing his job. So chalk this look up for the home team.
So it's Halloween, which means people are ready to be offended, and Kim Kardashian was the one in their sights. The reality star dressed as R&B legend Aaliyah, and we have exclusive pictures of her out and about in Beverly Hills in costume. And of course, the internet jumped on her. They slammed her for cultural appropriation because Aaliyah was black and Kim is not, even going so far as to call it offensive. But luckily, there were plenty of people sticking up for Kim, saying she looks great and did nothing wrong with her outfit of choice. One even said this is exactly how you pay respect without doing blackface and commended Kim on her costume. So, what's your take? Still to come, Dustin Hoffman is the latest Hollywood star to be accused of harassment. And we take a look at this year's biggest box office flops. Add Dustin Hoffman's name to the growing list of male celebs being accused of sexual harassment. The Hollywood Reporter published an essay by Anna Graham Hunter, who was a former production assistant on the 1985 TV movie adaptation of Death of a Salesman. In her article, she wrote that Dustin asked her to give him a foot massage her first day on set, which she did. She added he was openly flirtatious, grabbed her backside, and talked about sex to her. According to her letters, he even inquired as to whether she had sex over the weekend like he'd instructed. Hoffman has apparently already addressed the claims, saying he has the utmost respect for women and feels terrible that anything he might have done could have put her in an uncomfortable situation. He added that he was sorry and it is not reflective of who he is. Rose McGowan brought a lot of heat to Harvey Weinstein as she was one of the leading voices against the now disgraced movie mogul. But now she has some heat of her own. The 44-year-old actress has a warrant out for her arrest in Virginia after police allegedly found cocaine among her personal belongings that she accidentally left behind on a United flight. And after hearing the news, she tweeted that it was probably tied to her rape accusations. She asked if they were trying to silence her and called it a lot of you-know-what. According to reports, police say they've tried to contact Rose so she can appear in a local Virginia court, and the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority Police Department obtained the warrant earlier this year, but said the case is not a high priority.
Wendy, are you okay? Are you okay, Wendy?
That was Wendy Williams coming out of her New York City studio where just hours before, she fainted on live TV. Responders were quick to arrive on scene to check on the presenter after the scary incident, and luckily she looks to be doing just fine. The 53-year-old show host was dressed as the Statue of Liberty for Halloween when mid-sentence she slurred her words, stopped talking, lost her balance, and collapsed. The show immediately cut to commercial, and when it came back, Wendy was up on her own accord and didn't appear shaken or jolted from the event. She told cameras that she got overheated in her costume and passed out, but she had everyone really worried. Luckily, when we caught up to her, she reassured us she was okay.
Wendy, are you okay? Are you okay, Wendy?
Is Brad Pitt the most profitable actor in Hollywood? Nope. Not even close. In fact, Brad has just been named the least profitable actor in Hollywood. This according to new analysis from Party Casino. They studied box office data from 1980 to 2017. And unfortunately for Brad, he only returns 10 cents for every dollar spent. And yep, that's a pretty bad place to be. At least he's in good company. Following Brad is Johnny Depp, who returns 20 cents for every dollar spent. Then Robert De Niro with 24 cents. Followed by Hugh Jackman with 25 cents, and Anthony Hopkins with return of 26 cents for every dollar spent. Funny enough, according to their research, Emilio Estevez brought in the best return of any top-billed male actor. For every dollar spent, Emilio generated $6.70 at the box office. And you can take that to the bank.
Khloe Kardashian is expecting a baby boy. This according to Us Weekly. The 33-year-old who's expecting her first child with Tristan Thompson first made headlines when the news of her pregnancy started making the rounds in September. And at that time, nobody knew the sex of the baby. But hey, now we do. Rumor has it that since learning she had a baby on board, she's maintained her healthy lifestyle, and even though she's hungrier than ever, she's been eating smaller meals throughout the day to stay on track with her diet. She's also doing more cardio and less intensive workouts to maintain her fitness regimen. An insider close to the couple told Us Weekly that marriage is definitely in the cards, and they're just waiting for the right time to move forward. But Khloe doesn't want to rush into anything. Either way, we're just happy for the pair and can't wait to find out the baby boy's name.
Do not worry, Fixer Up fans. Chip and Joanna Gaines are not leaving Texas. The HGTV stars were quick to shoot down rumors that they've sold their famous family home, which was featured regularly on their show. A spokesperson for the pair said that any report saying Chip and Joanna sold their farmhouse is completely untrue. They have not sold their home and they do not have any plans to do so. It sounds like a few recent legal documents are what started the chattering. Chip and Joanna recently moved their property line to match their fence line, which is common and completely open as a matter of public record. Joanna chimed up to slam the false reports of their upcoming move, saying they love the place, it's home, which means more to them than anything. And if it doesn't come directly from them, it's probably not true. She even had to shoot down rumors they were leaving Waco back in February of this year. So this is a problem she's dealt with before.
You knew Emma Stone wouldn't stay single for long. The beautiful actress is reportedly dating a new man, SNL writer and segment director Dave McCary, who she's apparently known for a while. Rumor has it the twosome were spotted kissing at an SNL after-party back in May when she guest starred on the show. Stone split from her longtime boyfriend Andrew Garfield in 2015 after 3 years of dating. There were rumors over the summer that they were rekindling their romance, but the purported fling must have fizzled out because it never happened. Either way, Stone is apparently happy with her new man, and it seems she'll have plenty of time to hang out with him in the Big Apple. She's currently on location there, filming Netflix's upcoming Maniac with Jonah Hill.
It's that time of year again when we tell you which movies bombed at the box office. And we have to start with Collide. The Nicholas Hoult and Felicity Jones film suffered a year-long release delay, but that didn't keep the movie away from the Flophouse. The thriller cost an estimated $21.5 million to make, and it only brought in $4 million at the box office worldwide. Gore Verbinski's A Cure for Wellness didn't fare much better. The Dane DeHaan fantasy thriller earned $8 million domestically and another $18 million at the foreign box office. Only problem? It cost $40 million to make. Valerian and the City of 1,000 Pieces earned a spot on our biggest flops of the year list. It only raked in $132 million worldwide, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider that it cost an estimated $177 million to produce, it's labeled a flop. Charlie Hunnam couldn't save Guy Ritchie's King Arthur Legend of the Sword because it got slayed at the box office. It cost $175 million to make. It had a marketing budget of $130 million, and it only earned $130.7 million. Guess you could say it didn't make the cut. But the biggest flop of the year belongs to Christian Bale and Oscar Isaac. Their Armenian genocide drama, The Promise, had a $100 million production budget. And can you guess what it earned? Only $10 million. Ouch. Still to come, Entourage star Jeremy Piven denies the appalling allegations against him. And we take a look at Hollywood's haunted Halloween. Jeremy Piven wants you to know that he unequivocally denies the appalling allegations being peddled against him, and it did not happen. The actor was responding to the claim made by Ariane Bellamar, who says he cornered her in his trailer and forcefully grabbed her on more than one occasion. Piven told Deadline that it takes a great deal of courage for victims to come forward with their stories, and his hope is that the allegations about him that didn't happen do not retract from stories that should be heard. After the accusations were made against him, CBS, the network that airs his current series, issued a statement. It wasn't much, but a spokesperson said they are aware of the media reports and are looking into the matter. HBO also issued a statement saying their productions have a zero tolerance for sexual harassment and they take complaints very seriously. Guess we'll have to see how this one plays out.
Ashley Judd didn't miss a step as we spotted her just hours after giving that gut-wrenching interview about her allegations against Harvey Weinstein. We shot this exclusive footage of the actress as she made her way through New York City, draped in an evening gown and still with a smile on her face. Judd attended the Women's Media Center Awards in the Big Apple alongside some other big names like Judith Light, Gloria Steinem, and Marissa Tomei. During her shocking interview, Judd recalled the moment she met Harvey at his hotel room and made repeated deflections of his advancements. In fact, she even tricked him with an offer of sex after she won an Oscar in one of his films. Then she was able to slip out of his room unscathed. She continues leading the charge against the fallen media mogul, and we think this is just the beginning.
Netflix will not be bringing back House of Cards after it finishes its 6th season, but they're not done with DC just yet. According to reports, the streaming service and producer Media Rights Capital is already in the early stages of development on multiple ideas for a potential spin-off, and one concept centers around the character of Doug Stamper, played by Michael Kelly. Right now, the rumor is Eric Roth, who served as an executive producer on the first 4 seasons of House of Cards, is set to write. There are even 2 other spin-off ideas, but details are sketchy at this time. Netflix announced they will be canceling the award-winning show only hours after allegations against Kevin Spacey surfaced, but they claim the decision was made several months ago. House of Cards is credited with having put Netflix on the original programming map when it debuted with a bang back in 2013.
Now that you've heard the Kardashians signed a new deal worth $150 million, the real question is, what does this mean for the show? Well, you can expect 5 more seasons of their flagship reality series on E! And that means it will be one of the most popular and longest-running reality shows in history. It's also officially the most lucrative deal in reality TV history. The earnings are being split among the clan, and insiders expect the upcoming seasons to feature babies, and babies. Plus, appearances from mainstays like Kim, Kanye, Kourtney, Khloe, Kris Jenner, Kylie, Kendall, and probably Tristan Thompson and Travis Scott. Of course, we can probably expect more spin-offs involving members of the family. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is expected to go until 2019, and who knows, maybe even beyond.
She may be pregnant with her 3rd child, but that hasn't slowed her down a single step. The Duchess of Cambridge showed a sporty look as she arrived at the National Tennis Centre in London, England, marking her first solo engagement since taking a break from public duties. And even though with her struggles with severe morning sickness, she proved that the worst is behind her as she joined the youngsters on the court to practice her volleying skills. The 35-year-old was dressed in a tuxedo tracksuit worth an eye-watering $300 and a pair of Nike trainers ranging in the $200 range. Kate looked happy and showed that she can still hang with the kiddos despite being in her 2nd trimester. Kensington Palace revealed that Kate and Williams' family will arrive sometime in April, but the sex of the child has yet to be revealed. It's clear that Kaia Gerber inherited her mother's looks, but after one look, we can tell she is coming into her own. Check out these shots of the 16-year-old catwalk queen making the rounds in the Soho neighborhood of New York City, dressed in patent leather boots, black leather pants, and a camouflage jacket. And try to tell us she doesn't look like she just stepped out of the pages of a magazine. Whether she's making the rounds or just out for a stroll, this teenager is becoming one of the most popular models in the world. And you can see why. Fans are speculating that she'll have a career as successful as her mother, and there's even a theory that she'll surpass her. Until then, Kaya's gonna keep on smiling.
Celebrities and caffeine are co-stars in Hollywood, and Starbucks is the stop of choice. Whether it's an actor, a director, or a former president of the United States, it seems they're always out to get their fix. Hot, cold, grande, venti, trenta, or one stacked on top of the other, we see every shape and size. We even see Taylor Swift holding a coffee that says Brian, so that's probably her top secret Starbucks code name, or at least it used to be. Ben Affleck likes his coffee iced, and Hilary Duff likes her caffeine in the form of tea, and Nick Jonas likes his when he's making the rounds in New York City. So the next time you stop in for a tall, non-fat latte with caramel drizzle, hold the ice, extra foam, no whip, with an extra shot at 120 degrees with 10 pumps of vanilla, keep an eye out for your favorite star.
Heidi Klum did it again. The supermodel crushed her annual Halloween party in New York by dressing up as the werewolf from Michael Jackson's Thriller video. Complete with a zombie dance crew and the moves to back up the costume, Klum definitely retained her title as the Queen of Halloween. In England, Game of Thrones star Natalie Dormer donned a pirate costume, and Nicole Scherzinger went as a busty Cleopatra. Back on the West Coast, Kourtney Kardashian and boyfriend Younes Benjima teamed up for a couple's costume as notorious criminals Bonnie and Clyde. And singer Halsey and G-Eazy couple up as Princess Leia and Han Solo. From there, Halloween got a bit sexy, with Kendall Jenner, Hailey Baldwin, Madison Beer, and Lindsay Pellis pretty much wearing something out of their lingerie closet. Coco turned up the heat as a sexy firewoman, while Hub Ice-T went as, well, iced tea? But overall, when it comes to Hollywood, Halloween is definitely something to howl about. That's all the time we have for this week, with thousands of photographers stationed around the world. Who will we snap next? To find out, tune in next week to Splash, the paparazzi's own TV show.